itself, whether history will repeat itself or the tradition will be broken is something which will be taken note of on December 3. But there are several independents also in the fray, Preeti, on both sides. People who have broken away from the BJP and from the Congress who are contesting this election. And on the ground, what is happening right now is that Ashok Gehlot is marching towards the polling booth, and you see several people accompanying him, people from his family. His son Vaibhav Gehlot is there. His daughter is there with him.
Right. So these visuals that are filtering in, you see Ashok Gehlot there going towards his booth where he's going to cast his vote. Ashok Gehlot is standing from the Sardarpura constituency assembly seat in Jodhpur district of Rajasthan. To give our viewers perspective, it's a tough ask where you look at history. There's a natural edge to the BJP in this election if you just go by, what history stands testimony for. Since 1993, the people of Rajasthan haven't quite voted an incumbent government. But Ashok Gehlot this time very confident. He feels that he's offered the people enough to break this 30-year jinx. As per Ashok Gehlot, when we spoke to him last, which wasn't a while ago, quite recently, he's very clear that the 7 guarantees which the Congress offers will break through what the BJP has to offer. On ground as well, Ashok Gehlot is not unpopular, at least for most of us who saw him. Not much anti-incumbency against him, but against his MLAs definitely in pockets. But again, one can't stress on that question enough. Will he be able to break through what has been the pattern of a state, which has been a swing state? But having said that, Dave, I want to pull you in back into the conversation again, because a lot went down in the dying hours of the campaign. Language change. We've seen a massive push of polarization where campaigning is concerned. We've seen bulldozers on ground where the BJP comes into question. In midst of, this deafening campaign, the last few days before the campaign ended, we saw the narrative also change, where you had the Prime Minister and other BJP leaders hoping to invoke Rajesh Pilot and Sachin Pilot to possibly break the caste polarization in favor of Congress, if at all that happens this time like it did in 2018.
Well, there are a lot of things when one compares 2018. Ashok Gehlot was high on, conducting a campaign which was considered relatively more successful in Gujarat for the Congress Preeti. Thereafter, he started contributing towards his time towards Rajasthan. Sachin Pilot was already the state president in Rajasthan, and several of the leaders who were considered close to Ashok Gehlot, when they were denied tickets by the sitting PCC chief, they decided to contest as independents. And you now can hear sloganeering happening in favor of Ashok Gehlot. This has been his home constituency. He's the sitting member of Legislative Assembly from Sardarpura. And you see his daughter, his son Vaibhav Gehlot, the man Ashok Gehlot himself, other members of the family interacting with the public out here. His daughter is also there, who's accompanying him, his father, the 72-year-old Ashok Gehlot, Preeti, and he's marching towards the Mahamandir polling booth. And this seems to have become a major public exercise by Ashok Gehlot. Every 5 years, he arrives first at his sister's residence, and thereafter he moves towards the polling booth in Sardarpura. And now you see
right. There's a lot at stake. And, you've been tracking his campaign in the state of Rajasthan. It's been a tumultuous, term for Ashok Gehlot, especially with what has gone down in his feud with Sachin Pilot. Where the High Command is concerned, there will be a lot of questions at the back of this campaign. He needs to win this election, Ashok Gehlot. Keeping in mind, he turned down the post of presidentship because he wanted to focus on Rajasthan, #1. Then what went down in a CLP meet, which was called by the party High Command, which many MLAs bucked, citing allegiance to Ashok Gehlot. So, there are multiple questions that were raised through the tenure of the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, and this election is extremely important for him. It's, a day of reckoning of sorts. What happens to Ashok Gehlot post the results in Rajasthan? If Rajasthan wins, he can, to a large extent, take credit for the Congress's win where Rajasthan comes into question. And if there is a loss for the Congress, then in all probability, the brickbats will be stacked against Ashok Gehlot here. So this election, very, very important for Mr. Gehlot. He's 72. It's possibly one of his last elections one would think of. The Congress is not fighting this election with the chief ministerial face. Ashok Gehlot, in an interview to us, also made it very clear that it is for the party high command to decide on the chief minister's face after the results are out. But having said that, Dave, I want to bring you in just for a moment to reflect on the importance of this election. He's an old political warhorse. He's played on the side of the high command, which many would deem unfavorable, with the high command not left with many options. Many thought that as a strong regional satrap, he was arm twisting the high command. A lot for Ashok Gehlot rides on this election, doesn't it?
Well, extremely wily politician, Preeti, is how I would like to put it. Ashok Gehlot has been, and this clearly is a litmus test for Gehlot, the manner in which he cocked a snook at the party high command on 25th of September last year, when there was an outside possibility that the chief minister could be replaced, that Sachin Pilot can become the chief minister of Rajasthan, and by some deft maneuvering, Preeti, that did not happen. The manner in which things panned out, the manner in which Gehlot loyalists, including the likes of Shanti Dhariwal, Mahesh Joshi, Dharmendra Rathore, engineered a coup, and Ashok Gehlot managed to remain the chief minister and the incumbent right now, meeting people out here in Jodhpur, moving towards his paternal house. He is right now outside his paternal house in Jodhpur, Sardarpura, Preeti. And you're quite right out there. The party high command, the often spoken about the party high command, whether it will be able to, have its will be adhered to or not is something which we can get to know after the results come out. But for the time being, Ashok Gehlot has managed to ensure that he successfully completed his term as the third time chief minister of Rajasthan. And out here, what has been different, Preeti, also is the fact that Vasundhara Raje is no longer the BJP's official candidate for the post of the chief minister. I covered the elections in 2013 as well as in 2018. Both time round, Vasundhara was the official candidate of the party as its chief ministerial candidate. And if one calls the Congress a divided house, well, perhaps things are not much different or have not been much different in the BJP as well.
Well, you're right there. Yes, to a large extent, you're bang on where you suggest both sides. There's immense amount of factionalism which still persists under the charade of we are all together. But having said that, at least in the final leg or the final heat of the campaign, both political parties have tried to get the optics right. But has it been too late, especially for the Congress coming in together with Sachin Pilot, Ashok Gehlot? It was only yesterday, I would think, after years, one saw Ashok Gehlot share a video of Sachin Pilot appealing for votes. Not just that, where Vasundhara Raje is concerned, those visuals, viewers, that are coming to you on your television screen, you have Vasundhara Raje who cast her vote earlier, this morning. And Vasundhara Raje, without giving a single interview, she's been very quiet. Many thought she'd lost favor with the top brass of the BJP, but we was in the dying hours of this campaign. You saw her face back on the posters alongside JP Nadda and the Prime Minister, where the posters in Rajasthan were concerned. The last two rallies, or the second last rally that the Prime Minister addressed, he made a gesture on a stage where Vasundhara Raje was concerned, and a similar gesture could have been seen earlier on in other states, with possibly when UP was going to vote with Yogi Adityanath as well. So Vasundhara Raje climbing back where BJP is concerned as the most probable face for the chief minister, but that will depend on how the numbers are stacked on the 3rd of December. What's interesting to note, and what we are picking up, is that it could come down to be a game of independence. Why do we really say that, viewers? Is, Dave can also fill in on this, that what is being seen on ground, that loyalists of Vasundhara to the amount of 25 have been fielded or have fielded themselves as independents. They could practically hold the key if the BJP is close to the magic figure but yet a little far. And that would propel the path for Vasundhara Raje Scindia. Likewise, Ashok Gehlot, like what went down in 2018, this time as well, there are many who are standing as independents who seek affiliation or see affiliation to an Ashok Gehlot. Will that also help Ashok Gehlot if at all the time comes and it's a tough contest? That all aside, Dave, coming in for a quick question, ultimately it does seem, if it comes down to a tough fight, because Rajasthan, history stands testimony, even if you look at lots of data and polls, that very difficult to predict the Rajasthan election. And if it's close, this time around, this is a game for independence.
Well, quite clearly, Preeti, things as this are on grind right now, it's difficult to predict, but my sense is that independents can play a very crucial role. Imagine if both the BJP and the Congress get somewhere around 90 seats. That is a total of around 180 seats. So on the remaining 19 seats, if let's say a majority of the chunk goes to the independents, Ashok Gehlot is known to be a very deft mover, someone who can manage the show. And remember, both in 2008 and 2018, the Congress did not manage to get the majority mark on its own. In 2018, in fact, Preeti, the Congress got 99 seats, and later on one more seat was added during the by-poll election, which was held later on. So that is how it got 100 seats in an assembly of 200. So that was, right split down the middle. The majority is 101, but he managed to form the government with the help of breakaway MLAs from the Bahujan Samaj Party and the independents, who clearly mentioned that we will support a Congress government in Rajasthan only if Ashok Gehlot becomes the chief minister of the state. And that's how he has been a deft mover. So except for that time period, Preeti, somewhere around 2020, June or July, when Sachin Pilot and his band of rebel MLAs had moved away to Manesar or to Delhi, that was the unstable period in Gehlot government's tenure. That is when uncertainty had been there, and there was a no confidence vote that was called in by the BJP. Except for that, this government has been fairly stable. Ashok Gehlot has managed to, run his entire leg of the tenure. And, during the COVID pandemic, he really claims to have worked day in, day out, during the course of the night also sometimes round. And he time and again, Preeti, says that he is not after the chief minister chair. मुख्यमंत्री की जो कुर्सी है वो मुझे नहीं छोड़ रही है, मैं तो छोड़ना चाहता हूँ. That is something which has been now become a part of the rhetoric that Ashok Gehlot has indulged in. But right now the scenes behind me, Preeti, hectic activity going in at his paternal house, the house where his parents had stayed for the longest time. In Jodhpur. Once he comes out from here, along with his son Vaibhav Gehlot, his daughter and his granddaughter, they will be moving towards the polling booth in Sardarpura to cast their ballot. And come December 3, we will be getting to know the results of this election.
All right. Okay, so we're going to stay with those visuals. Dave, stay on with me right now. It's quite an exercise there. Lots of optics at play. Understandably, that is Ashok Gehlot, the sitting chief minister. He's got a lot at stake, and optics at play right now. He's gone to his paternal home. He's meeting his sister, and then he's going to go to cast his vote in Sardarpura constituency. It's his stronghold, and maximum political mileage being leveraged out of this morning, where Ashok Gehlot is going to cast his vote, and understandably so. It is expected at that as well. Earlier this morning, Vasundhara Raje had also cast her vote. But let's, viewers, for 1 minute, let's quickly cut across and look at some data. Because what we are looking at is, while most analysts will say and suggest that if you look at sheer data, and we're going to look at our election intelligence dashboard, and data suggests very clearly that where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned and the 200-strong assembly seats of Rajasthan, when it wins big. The Congress, even in its winning, just about passes the halfway mark. The last time around, it only did so with the help of independents. But having said that, if we just look at the strength scan, so what we've done is we've broken this 200 seats across the landscape of the state of Rajasthan, across its 6 regions, and we've tried to ascertain on the strength of each political party, be it the BJP and the Congress, on what seats are strong for each political party and how many are they in number. And the BJP, in that sense, outweighs the Congress. Why do I say that? Let's take a quick look at the strength scan where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. And what we've done is, viewers, these are the strong seats of the BJP. Now, we've broken them up into 4 categories, and I'll explain the 4 categories to you. A safe seat for the BJP, here are 28 are safe seats. Why? In what capacity have we labeled them safe? Well, these seats have been won in 3 consecutive elections by the Bharatiya Janata Party. So we are talking about 2008, 2013 and 2018. So 28 seats the Bharatiya Janata Party has won in the last 3 elections, which is 2008, 2013 and then 2018, relatively safe. Now, out of these 3 terms, which I pointed out, 2008, 13 and 18, BJP has won 77 seats, which we can call relatively safe. Now, they've won it in 2 terms out of these 3. So 77 seats in the last 3 elections, the BJP has won twice over. So 77 are relatively safe seats. Now, weak seats, which they have won once in the last 3 elections since 2008, 2013 and 2018. And the BJP has 76 seats where they've only won one of the seats. They have only won, one term in the last 3 terms. Now, very weak seats, 19, which they have not won in the last 3 elections, be it from 2008 to 2018. Well, this is what the report card, where the strength scan of the Bharatiya Janata Party looks like. Let's take a quick look at the Congress party there once again. Look at it in context, viewers. Huge difference. The safe seats for the Congress are just 5, where the BJP had safe seats over 20. 28 were the BJP safe seats. Now, Congress has only won 5 seats in 2008, 2013 consecutively and 2018. So 3 out of 3. The last 3 elections, they've won only 5 seats where they have converted all the 3 elections there. Relatively safe seats where they've won in the last 3 elections twice over, they've won that seat, that's 60. Very weak seats, 82, only once in the last 3 elections from 2008. And most of these 82 seats that you see, viewers, were won in 2018. And very weak 53 seats that in the last 3 elections from 2008, they haven't won at all. So if we were going to pitch the BJP, once again, I'll show you, to get a better understanding, 28 safe seats for the BJP, relatively safe seats 77, weak seats 76, very weak seats 19. Again, pitch it to the Congress and you see the difference, why the BJP is much stronger where you look at the strength scan, where the Congress comes from 28 safe seats. So the BJP had won 28 seats from 2008. Last 3 elections consecutively, they've been winning 28 seats. The Congress here only 5. So interesting in that account. The BJP has an advantage. Many say the BJP has a natural advantage because it's a swing state. But in terms of sheer numbers, does put BJP ahead. Will this trend continue going into 2023 elections? We'll only know when that last vote is counted. But we're going to continue to get to the latest from a fascinating election intelligence dashboard, number crunching, to make it clear, on at least on ground, whose strength lies where. With that, let's quickly cut across to the other latest updates that we are getting in. The high-octane assembly elections underway as we speak. Polling is underway in 199 out of 200 constituencies. A total of 36,101 polling stations have been set up. Over 5 crore voters will decide the fate of 1,863 candidates in the fray. Early this morning, many political bigwigs, including BJP's Vasundhara Raje, Congress's Sachin Pilot, and others cast their vote. BJP and Congress are putting in all efforts to go the long mile in trying to woo voters in the final count.
चलिए भाई चलिए।
All right, so constituency, listen in to Ashok Gehlot.
एक सेकंड भाभी जी को क्यों ले लिया? अरे माइक
Ashok Gehlot. All right, okay, once again, viewers, to put the focus on Ashok Gehlot, the incumbent chief minister's constituency, he's standing from Sardarpura constituency in the district of Jodhpur. He's a sitting MLA, but in 2019, his son stood as an MP to contest the Lok Sabha elections from Jodhpur and lost. But having said that, this is a stronghold of Gehlot, especially where assembly elections are in question. But let's cut across right now, back to the ground. Ashok Gehlot exclusively speaking to India Today.
बात करने के लिए राजस्थान के मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत जी हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। अशोक जी, जो एक रिवाज है 5 साल में सत्ता बदलने का, क्या ये चलेगा इस बार? वोटर क्या ये तय कर देंगे कि आपकी सरकार आएगी या बदल दी जाएगी?
देखिए, रिवाज तो केरला में भी था 70 साल से, पर इस बार रिवाज टूट गया और सरकार रिपीट हुई कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी वापस। 70 साल से वहाँ एक बार कांग्रेस एक बार कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी होती थी, सिर्फ इसलिए कि कोविड में अच्छा काम किया। तो कोविड में अच्छा काम करने पे केरला में सरकार रिपीट हो सकती है, तो हमारी जनता भी कम समझदार नहीं है। वो जानती बहुत शानदार काम उन्होंने किया। बिरोड़ा मॉडल तो हमारा विश्व स्वास्थ्य संगठन तक ने तारीफ करी, दुनिया भर में चला गया। शानदार मैनेजमेंट हमने किया राजस्थान के अंदर, पूरा प्रदेश जानता है। और उसके अलावा जो हम कानून पास किए, हमने स्कीम लेके आए हैं, गारंटी दी हम लोगों ने, राइट टू हेल्थ एक्ट बना दिया, चिरंजीवी योजना लेके आ गए, 25 लाख का बीमा 50 लाख का कर दिया गया सिक्योरिटी के लिए, सबके काम पड़ता भी नहीं है। और साथ में ओपीएस दे दिया कर्मचारियों के लिए, महंगे राशि के शिविर लगा दिए, 10 गारंटी दे दी हमने, 7 गारंटी और हम दे रहे हैं लोगों को। मैनिफेस्टो के अंदर अलग से हमने वादे किए हैं। तो आप रात में कहीं भी जाओगे, आप कहीं नहीं सुनोगे सरकार के खिलाफ में कोई लहर चल रही है, जबकि जनरली जिसकी सरकार होती है उसके खिलाफ थोड़ी बहुत तो एंटी गवर्नमेंट होती है। पहला मौका है राजस्थान के अंदर जहां आप सुनोगे नहीं बात।
बीजेपी मुद्दा बना रही है कि करप्शन हुआ, लैंड ऑर्डर की स्थिति है खराब है, और महिलाओं की सुरक्षा का मुद्दा उठा रहे हैं। उनका कहना है कि इस बार अशोक गहलोत सरकार जाएगी और हम बहुमत के साथ सरकार बनाएंगे।
अगर उन्हें सच्चाई होती तो इश्यू बन जाते पब्लिक के अंदर। ये जो आप बोल रहे हो ना, इनमें सच्चाई नहीं है। सच्चाई होती पब्लिक खुद ही कैच कर लेती उनको।
अशोक जी, नरेंद्र मोदी वर्सेस अशोक गहलोत, चेहरा उनका नरेंद्र मोदी है और कमल का निशान है, और इधर आपको प्रोजेक्ट तो नहीं किया, लेकिन क्योंकि मुख्यमंत्री हैं आप, तो किस ढंग से देखते हैं इस कंपेयर?
ये कोई कंपेयर करने की आवश्यकता नहीं थी, क्योंकि राजस्थान विधानसभा चुनाव हो रहे हैं। विधानसभा चुनाव अलग होते हैं, केंद्र के अलग होते हैं, तो ये जरूरत नहीं थी कि इस प्रकार से वो कैंपेन करते हैं। यहाँ पर प्रधानमंत्री का तो 1 या 2 मीटिंग करने बहुत होता है। कोई पंडित नेहरू के जमाने के अंदर, इंदिरा जी के जमाने में 1-2 मीटिंग होती थी। गांव गांव में घर में चर्चा होती थी कि आज प्रधानमंत्री जी कह के गए हैं, उसके मायने ये हैं। आज क्या जरूरत पड़ी 25-30 मीटिंग कर रहे हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर कर रहे हैं, गृह मंत्री पड़ाव डाल रहे हैं। केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल की तो लाइन लगी हुई थी मंत्रियों की, और 5-7 राज्य मुख्यमंत्री आ गए, क्योंकि सब चाहते हैं कि हमला बोला मेरे ऊपर, मेरी गवर्नमेंट पर, इसलिए कि मेरी सरकार गिरा नहीं पाए लोग।
All right, the Bharatiya Janata Party is also up the ante. Once again, the latest news break coming in, raking up viewers. The Prime Minister was the first one to rake up the Kanhaiya Lal beheading case in the state of Rajasthan, where he campaigned in the beginning, and that once again being invoked where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, where the BJP on the final day of polling going all out saying, do you want to vote for the supporters or those who supported Kanhaiya Lal murder? Listen.
राम राम सा राजस्थान। आज राजस्थान की जनता के पास, मतदाताओं के पास और खास करके नव मतदाताओं के पास, फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स के पास राजस्थान को मुक्ति दिलाने का सबसे सुंदर और सुनहरा अवसर आया है। और कोई भी व्यक्ति घर पर ना बैठे, वोट दे, पहले मतदान करे, उसके बाद जलपान करे, क्योंकि सवाल राजस्थान का है। राम राम सा राजस्थान। आज राजस्थान की जनता के पास, मतदाताओं के पास और खास करके नव मतदाताओं के पास, फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स के पास राजस्थान को मुक्ति दिलाने का सबसे सुंदर और सुनहरा अवसर आया है। और कोई भी व्यक्ति घर पर ना बैठे, वोट दे, पहले मतदान करे, उसके बाद जलपान।
All right, let's cut across right now to my colleague Devankar Vadhavan. It's interesting. The same language which has been pertinent, especially the Prime Minister had begun his campaign in Udaipur by invoking the Kalhaiya Lal murder, and most BJP leaders right now speaking of it, even in the day that Rajasthan is going to polls. These visuals coming in once again, viewers. Let me tell you, that's Ashok Gehlot there, wearing the traditional safa in Rajasthan, and he's gone to cast his vote. But Dev, the narrative of polarization still rife. Anytime expecting to hear from the Chief Minister of Rajasthan as well after casting his vote.
Well, so Preeti, it has become a presidential kind of an election where you had the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, being the biggest face of the BJP time and again claiming that there is no local leader who can match the aura, the charisma, the stature of the Prime Minister, and he's the one on whose face the BJP is fighting this Rajasthan elections, which is considered to be a litmus test for the Prime Minister as well, because remember, around 6 months away is the Lok Sabha elections now, Preeti. So that is, these state elections, whether it's been Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan, the so-called predominantly Hindi belt is where the litmus test is not only for the Congress but for the Prime Minister as well. And that is why you saw the Prime Minister holding rally after rally, a slew of rallies by the Prime Minister. And as I speak, the Rajasthan Chief Minister moving towards the polling booth. If the camera person can raise the camera level and show you the man who seems to have made a spectacle out of this attempt to go to the polling booth. He had been moving from one house to another, meeting his old friends, his old accomplices in Jodhpur, Sardarpura, the place where he was born and the place where he has spent his growing up years, his childhood years. The first time round he fought the elections was in 1977 when he lost by around 4,400 votes. And the next time round in 1980, when he contested the Jodhpur Lok Sabha constituency, he had won by more than 50,000 votes. And you see his son also there with Ashok Gehlot. So what I was saying was, Preeti, that this seems to have become a presidential form of elections where on the one hand, there is the Prime Minister and on the other, there is the Rajasthan Chief Minister who seems to have become the biggest face of the Congress in Rajasthan. The Congress claiming that it is his schemes, it is his yojanas, his projects,
right,
which the Congress is fighting the elections on.
Well, Dev, I don't know how much the Sachin Pilot supporters will come down to it, whether he's the biggest face. But right now, yes, this election, he might not be the declared chief ministerial face, but he's gone all out practically, without it being official. It's his name on the ticket. Having said that, you have Ashok Gehlot going to cast his vote in Sardarpura. Of the 5 seats we spoke to you of earlier, only 5 seats where the Congress has won consecutively in the last 3 elections from 2008, 13 and 18, viewers. Sardarpura is one such seat which is held by Ashok Gehlot. So one of those 5 very safe seats for the Congress comes from Sardarpura constituency, where Ashok Gehlot now standing for his 4th election and hoping to win his 4th election from the same constituency. But let's take a quick look. In 2018, when the Congress came back to power after an abysmal performance in 2013, where they had only 21 seats, look at how the assembly panned out or stacked up in terms of numbers. The Congress held the magic figure of just about. Of 100, you need, out of 200, it had 100 seats where the Congress was concerned. The Bharatiya Janata Party stood at 73, and the others were the ones who gave the safety of numbers to Ashok Gehlot in terms of independents and BSP MLAs who switched over then to the Congress viewers. This is what it looked like in the year 2018. But will things churn and turn again? Will the swing state status hold true, and once again the dynamics change in 2023 Assembly? Only know on 3rd December. But let's cut across. You saw Ashok Gehlot casting his vote. Then on the other hand, you have from Jhalara Patan, you had Vasundhara Raje earlier this morning, not the CM face, but most believe if the BJP comes to power, she's a probable face for the BJP as well to become Chief Minister. Why? We'll tell you later. But first up, listen in to Sachin Pilot after casting his vote from the Tonk constituency.
It's a big day for the voters, and with the battle that has been bitterly fought, today it's time for the voters to turn out in huge margins. And we are in Jaipur where Sachin Pilot is with us, and he's going to cast his vote first. That's the duty that every voter owes if you want a government of your choice. And Sachin Pilot perhaps exercising his franchise, and then he'll be heading to Tonk. Sachin, nervous moments, it's a big day, a challenge for you and for your party?
Well, I think it's an important day for all of us. It's important that all of us cast our vote. It's a very large state, Rajasthan. We have 8 crore people who live here. But I'm quite confident with the way we've conducted the campaign, the way we function. People have, I think, decided to break that trend of 5-year BJP, 5-year Congress. That cycle, I think, needs to be broken. And I have full faith in the voters, and I hope they go out in large numbers, exercise their franchise and cast their vote. But the Congress campaign has been centered about people's issues, and those issues are important. Therefore, I think our campaign, our work, our track record, and what our vision for Rajasthan is for the next 5 years, that's very important. And I think I'm confident in saying that we'll form the government again.
We saw how the Prime Minister in the previous assembly elections from Himachal to Karnataka was the face of the entire campaign, and BJP in Himachal was talking about how the Rivas will be changed. But here again it wants that the traditions should continue and there should be a flip over of the government. Do you think that the BJP would be hoping for the best and will be successful in that?
So you can't have it both ways, no? BJP wants some state governments to have double engine. Somewhere they want to change tradition. I think every state is different. People look at the leadership. People look at the way the government has worked. And central BJP, you see, they campaigned very hard in Karnataka, but we formed the government. They campaigned hard in Himachal, but Congress formed the government. There's a change. 10 years of a BJP government in Delhi has also created some anti-incumbency. You can see the resonance of that in Rajasthan. But that aside, the campaign here, I think, has been Rajasthan leadership in the BJP leadership here, I think, has been ineffective in the last 5 years, and that's showing in the campaign also. They had to rely on people from the outside of the state to come and campaign. But Rajasthan, I think, this time is ready to have a break of tradition, and all sections of society will vote in large numbers for the Congress.
All right, these visuals coming in of Ashok Gehlot going in to cast his vote from Sardarpura constituency, but visuals also coming in from outside the polling station. Lots of people gathered there. Understandably, it's a big election for Ashok Gehlot. He has a lot riding on it, especially where, the image of who's considered to be a jadugar or a wily politician of sorts, Ashok Gehlot is concerned. A lot has gone down, not just where the BJP face-off is concerned, but within his own party, and he needs this election desperately to consolidate his own position in his party, where many think that he's run foul of the Congress High Command, of practically cocking a snook at the Congress High Command on 2 occasions by turning down the presidentship, and then again last year where the CLP meet was concerned, where many of his loyalists did not turn up despite a party whip to come for the CLP meeting, citing allegiance to Ashok Gehlot. These visuals from the Sardarpura constituency come in, but let's quickly also, viewers, shift the focus. I'll ask our producers to show you visuals coming in from Jhalara Patan. That is where early this morning Vasundhara Raje Scindia cast her vote. While we wait for Ashok Gehlot to cast his ballot and come out and speak to the media, let's also get you the latest coming in